Hello, beautiful people. So, I wanted to have a little chat with you about the upcoming full moon and the equinox. So, the full moon is about 1 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, and the actual moment of the equinox, when the sun moves into Libra, is about 8:45 on Wednesday evening. Those are just rough times. So, I've been looking at this because it's unusual to have a new moon or a full moon so close to one of the quarter days. Now, we don't often focus very much on the equinoxes. We tend to sort of go big time for the solstices and then sort of acknowledge the equinoxes without really considering them very much sometimes. But when we have a new moon or a full moon this close, then it's worth giving it a bit extra attention. And particularly because the full moon actually precedes the equinox. So, first of all, you need to understand about the order of the zodiac. So, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. When the sun moves into Aries on the spring equinox, that is like the start of the circle of the zodiac. It's a spring equinox. And then the opposite, the autumn equinox, the sun moves into Libra. It's the opposite sign of Aries. Now, the sign preceding Libra is Virgo, and the very last sign of the zodiac, which happens before Aries, is Pisces. So this full moon is happening while the sun is in Virgo and the moon is in Pisces. And not only that, but they're happening almost at the end of those signs, so like almost 29 degrees of the sign. So because the full moon, so if you think about the equinox like this, because the full moon is so close to the equinox, the sun is so close to moving into Libra that you get this sense of it's just the teeniest little tilt away. Okay, so then we start to look at the signs. So Pisces is the end of the zodiac. It's the end of the cycle. It's like the final death throes of the cycle, if you like. It's that point where we are just about, or have maybe stopped breathing before we die and before we actually leave our physical body. And so the end of Virgo is like the very last of the harvest, the very last of the collection of the fruits of all our labours since the beginning of Aries, which is when we plant the seeds, when we set our new intentions. So from the spring equinox until the very end of Virgo, we have been planting our seeds, we have been nourishing them, we've been seeing them to full ripeness, and then we've been bringing in the harvest. Okay. Then after the end of Virgo, when we brought in the harvest, we move into the first degree of Libra. And Libra is all about the balance. So all summer we've been out, party, push. Yes, I was thinking about my sore knee and what was it all about. And then we come into Libra and we're looking at the 6 months ahead, the 6 months over winter, when the nights become longer than the days. And basically, if you think about plants in the northern hemisphere, they start to draw down all the nutrients from the leaves, they draw them down, all the twigs and the branches and the trunk, and store them in the roots. So this is the phase that we're moving into, where we gather everything together that we have experienced and experienced and learnt in the summer, because we're now going to draw all those resources, all that nourishment, all that joy and exuberance in the beautiful weather. We're going to draw that down into our roots, into our foundation. We're going to process it and pack it and store it for future growth. Okay, so this got me really wondering about what seeds I had sat in the spring, and that really threw me into the full moon, because at the moment a full moon is where you have the sun and the moon opposite each other. Okay, so the sun's light is able to directly fall on the moon, and we're able to see the whole face of the moon. So at the moment, the sun is here in Virgo and the moon is in Pisces, right? The moon was just about to move into Aries, where we set the seeds. So here we are, our sun, which represents our head, our essence, looking back at that person that we were 6 months ago. Okay, we're shining a light on that person that we were 6 months ago. Who were we 6 months ago? Put that spotlight on that person, or on your dream, or on whatever it was that you set you where you were, or you had created by that point in your life. Throw a spotlight on it. And what did you plant there? And now look over the summer. How did that plant grow? And we can plant a sunflower seed, and okay, we can be pretty sure we're going to get a sunflower, but we don't know whether it's going to be a little short one, or whether it's going to be a really tall one, or whether it's just going to have one flower head, or it might even send off an offshoot and get 2 or 3 flower heads. We don't know that when we plant the seed. We don't even know if it's going to survive. Okay, so shine a light on that person that you were, on that seed that you planted. And how has that come into fruition? What does it look like now? What do you look like now? And I don't just mean physically, I mean spiritually. How have you grown since you planted that seed in the spring? And this is just such an amazing time to have that reflection, having that full moon just before the equinox, because when we spend a little bit of time just contemplating that, just getting some basic ideas, then we can draw those in and we can work on those and we can build on those. And the winter is all about, it was all about crafts, it was all about the weaving and putting, preparing and creating, and it's almost like taking in all those insights that we've had and weaving them into the fabric of our being, because they're like new bits of ourselves. We've had bits about ourselves been revealed that we didn't know before, that we birthed and they've blossomed. And it's good to have a little process about taking those in, and did they meet? Does it meet the seeds that we intended? Do we feel like we're actually, on track with what it is that we feel we want to bring out to the world? Or maybe even it's giving us a clue as to what it is that we bring to the world, if we have no idea. Most of us don't have any idea what it actually is. We may have I'm going to, like drive a van or whatever. But we don't know what impact our own being will have in the world through that. Through having driven the van and had that experience, and the people that we've met and the things that we've learned, we don't know in the spring how that's actually going to manifest. So I just thought that was a really cute little exercise to do, and certainly it's something that's like already ticking over in my mind. And I know what I wanted to do. Hang on a sec. Because it's the moon in Pisces and the sun in Virgo, and the moon actually moves into Pisces today at 9:20. So we've got from now until 9:45. So like, what's that? To Sunday, to Monday, to Tuesday, to Wednesday. We've got 4 days to really look at this and really process it. And I bet it will be good for us. I think it will be very useful. So I love you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.